A killer walked into class, but the human Deathworlder Everyone terrified. The lecture hall of Orvo's Academy hummed with the quiet energy of young minds. Students from 30 species filled the terraced seats, their life support bubbles and environmental pods glowing faintly. Knowledge was currency in the galaxy, and Orvo's prided itself on being neutral ground. No politics, no armies, only learning. At least, that was the dream. Humans had been admitted for the first time only 3 cycles ago, and their presence still unsettled the academy. They sat upright, alert, restless in ways other species weren't. Their eyes tracked everything. Their bodies never truly relaxed. Today, as Professor Vayrix lectured on xenobiological symbiosis, most students were distracted by one particular human, Cadet Orin Vale. Orin wasn't the largest in the room, nor the most decorated. Yet there was something in the way he carried himself, a quiet gravity, a predator's patience. Even the Krovacs, predators in their own right, gave him space. No one admitted it aloud, but every non-human student knew the truth. Orin scared them. And then the doors opened. The killer arrives. The sound was wrong. A hiss of hydraulics, then a metallic slam. Every head turned. A figure strode in, not a student, not faculty. Its armor was scarred black, plasma burns etched across the plating. In its hand was a weapon no civilian should carry, a graviton scythe, humming with lethal energy. Gasps rippled through the hall. Professor Vayrix froze, tendrils quivering. "Why you cannot be here?" The intruder's voice was a rasp of static. "I am here for blood." Recognition hit the room like a shockwave. This was no ordinary mercenary. This was a Carnathy killer, a professional assassin bred for war, known for harvesting entire colonies. Somehow, it had slipped past Orvo's vaunted defenses. Panic erupted. The aquatic Toanen shrieked in their fluid chambers. The winged Jalari tried to take flight only to collide with containment fields. The insectoid Narek clicked in terror. The killer advanced. 2. The human stands. Everyone scattered, except one. Orin Vale rose from his seat. Slowly. Deliberately. The killer's helm tilted. "You are not afraid." Orin's lips curled into something between a grin and a snarl. "Should I be?" The Carnathy raised its scythe, energy humming louder. "You will die first, human." Professor Vayrix screeched, "Run, you fool." But Orin didn't run. He stepped forward, shoulders loose, eyes fixed, every motion economical. The other students stared in disbelief. Who moved toward a Carnathy killer? Who didn't freeze or plead or faint? Only a human. 3. Predator mode. The scythe lashed out in a blur of gravitic distortion. Desks shattered, air warped. But Orin wasn't there. He had already shifted sideways, movements sharp and efficient. His body language changed, breathing slowed, muscles coiled, gaze narrowed. Every instinct honed on Earth's death world switched on. Predator mode. The Carnathy swung again. Orin ducked low, seized a broken shard of alloy desk, and hurled it with lethal precision. The shard struck the killer's visor, cracking it. A hiss of rage. "You dare." Orin closed the distance. Humans weren't the fastest, nor the strongest. But they adapted. Improvised. Exploited. His hand darted to the killer's gauntlet, wrenching the scythe aside even as the weapon's hum seared flesh from his palm. He didn't flinch. He pressed in closer. Lesson 1, Orin growled, twisting the weapon arm until bones, or their alien equivalent, snapped. Never give a human your weapon. The scythe clattered free. 4. Terror in the class. The alien students couldn't look away. What they witnessed defied their understanding. The Carnathy killer towered over Orin, armored, engineered for slaughter. Yet the human fought like a storm. No hesitation, no wasted energy. Every strike targeted weak points, joints, gaps, sensors. Every move was both offense and defense. The Narek clicked in fear. He is smiling. Indeed, Orin's lips curled in feral joy. Pain ran down his burned arm, yet adrenaline drowned it. Where other species recoiled from agony, humans fed on it, sharpened by it. The Carnathy roared and swung a fist. Orin ducked, slammed an elbow into its chest plate, then drove a knee into its leg joint. Metal buckled. He grabbed the fallen scythe. The weapon hummed, unstable in his grip. With a predator's roar, Orin drove it upward, piercing the killer through its chest. The Carnathy staggered, armor crackling. Impossible. A single unarmed student, defeating a professional killer? The assassin collapsed, body smoking. Silence after the storm. For a long moment, the hall was silent except for Orin's ragged breathing. He stood over the corpse, blood dripping from his burned hand, chest heaving. His eyes scanned the room not with malice, but with cold awareness. Like a wolf checking its surroundings. Every student shrank back. The Jalari whispered, "By the stars," he enjoyed it. The Titan bubbled in terror, "Humans are monsters." Professor Vayrix's voice quivered. "Vale. Cadet Vale, you saved us." Orin finally spoke, voice low and steady. "No. I just did what needed to be done." He dropped the scythe, the clang echoing like a funeral bell. 6. Aftermath. Security forces stormed in minutes later, too late to matter. They secured the corpse, scanned for more threats, and tried to question the students. But no one's eyes left Orin. He had returned to his seat, calm now, as though the violence had been nothing more than a passing storm. His burned hand was already wrapped in cloth torn from his own uniform. The alien students sat as far from him as possible. Some whispered. Others refused to look at him. Finally, the insectoid Narek clicked nervously. Why did you not flee like the rest of us?" Orin looked up. His eyes were tired, ancient for someone so young. "Because running doesn't stop the killing. Someone had to stop it." "But you could have died," the Narek pressed. Orin's gaze hardened. "On Earth, we learn to live with that. Every day. The predators don't stop hunting just because you're scared. You fight, or you die. That's the lesson of my world." A chill settled over the hall. 7. The lesson they would never forget. Word spread quickly. By the next cycle, the academy buzzed with stories. Some said Orin Vale had ripped the killer's heart out with his bare hands. Others whispered he had called upon forbidden human war arts. The truth was simpler. He had done what any human might do, given no other choice. But for the alien students, the impression burned into their memory was clear. Humans were not prey. They were predators. Apex predators. And when cornered, they were unstoppable. Orin Vale never boasted about that day. He sat through lectures, trained, studied like anyone else. But when others looked at him now, they didn't see just a student. They saw the shadow of a Deathworlder. They saw why the galaxy whispered in fear. Because when the killer walked into class, everyone had panicked. Everyone had fled. Everyone had frozen. Except the human. And that made all the difference.